night on The Daily Show. And coming up, we surprise the housemates when we cross for our first live chat. Plus, a shark, a shooting and shaggy shenanigans. Welcome back. It's Sunday night and in just 7 days' time we'll have our momentous first eviction. But tonight we have the very special housemate secrets revealed. As we know, it's been a tumultuous, action-packed week in the house, and we're getting to know the housemates bucket load by bucket load. But can we be sure it's the real them? Because some people can tell tales and fool an entire nation. Yesterday, the housemates each had to tell 2 lies and a secret about themselves. And just like you, the other housemates then had to decide what was true and what was absolute rubbish.
G'day guys, my name's Frizy. All right, my first story, you all know that I love jetty jumping. And me and my mates, the MLS crew, we were down jetty jumping. We had the state championships down at Port Noarlunga Jetty where I grew up. And as I've jumped in the air, a shadow has come from underneath the jetty. I've landed in the water with my knees and got into the water, and I was a bit scared what it was, and got up, and I'd hit it was about a 2-metre bronze whaler shark, and I killed it. And the news crew came down and it was on the news that night. My second story, when Coldplay came to Australia, I got backstage before their first gig and I met Chris Martin, my hero. I taught him the Sydney Swans, the club song, right? And the next night at the next gig he sang it in front of everyone in Sydney. My third story is when I had my 3rd knee reconstruction, I had to get away from Australia, so I went over to Las Vegas. And in the casino that I was staying at, a really top-class casino, I had dinner with Mandy Moore, and she's coming to Australia soon to promote a new movie, and I'm catching up with her. So that's my 3 stories.
He was in Las Vegas.
I'll go number 2.
Yeah, but he's also...
He also does jetty jumping.
I reckon number two is not right, it's a lie.
Number 3 kind of sounds just by someone else saying that, like...
But do you think Mandy Moore...
Yeah, but he actually said that he...
But you know what?
What you want?
Hands up for what?
Number 1, hands up. Right, number 2, hands up. Put your hands up if you want number 2.
She's swaying.
7 out of 13.
It's number 2.
Yeah! Rightio. My 3 secrets. Here's the first one.
Lie!
Back.
Just jumping the gun.
My uncle, back in about 1988, rode in the Melbourne Cup. My second one, my grandfather invented the bread clip, which is, you know, the clip on the top of the thing. You roll it up, you chuck on the bread clip. And my third one is I've been shot.
Well, that's tough.
Because of his height, he's trying to say that his uncle's a jockey.
I just know he's extreme, and he might have been an extreme situation, and I think
He might have been shot in the leg.
That's number 1. He was a jockey. I'll get number 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking jockey.
You guys have got 7.
1, 2,
We got 7. It's all over. We're saying number 1.
Does sound
Okay,
okay.
I said one shot.
Yeah, it's already.
Number 1 is wrong.
I've been...
Are you jumping on now?
Wait.
I have been shot with a nail gun.
No.
A 3-inch nail. His mate was mucking around at work. Went like this, like this, bang, bang. And one of them went bang, 3-inch nail, went into the side of my leg right there. Went right into my leg, so...
Now, I've been hanging because I've got 3 true things to tell you guys. I've just been looking forward to sharing this with you. First thing I've got to tell you is that when I was in Las Vegas and I was staying at Circus, which I told a few is, I was in Nickeltown just playing on the 1 cent pokies, and I get this tap on the shoulder and he goes, "Oh, excuse me." He goes, "Cameron Diaz is here and she's having dinner and she wants someone to join her." And I said, "You're not taking me for a laugh." He said, "No, Cameron Diaz is over there at the table and she wants you to have dinner with him." And so I went over there and I had dinner with Cameron Diaz. She paid for the lot. Any champagne, we had champagne, then just wines, and had a meal, and then had a chat. I got a number afterwards, and then...
What'd you have for dinner?
Steak. I just said for the biggest steak. It was like an eye fillet. It was beautiful. Second thing is that when I was a kid, I stopped breathing for in my cot, and my mum came into my room and she found me there not breathing, and she called the ambulance. Ambulance didn't come, and so she rushed me to hospital, and basically I didn't breathe for about 8 minutes, and I was basically, she thought I was dead, and the hospital brought me back to life. And the third thing is that the reason I've been to England so much, and you've probably heard me talk about travelling, is that the place I was staying, Bishop Stortford, which is like between London and Cambridge, I actually have an uncle who lives there, and he's a lord, and he owns a castle.
Number 2.
Number two.
Yeah, number two. Everyone do number 2. Put your hands up.
He's
number 2?
It's Cameron Diaz, boys. No, it wasn't. He likes younger men. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
My first story. It's something, I don't know, I've been able to do it for like, I don't know, about 6 years, since like grade 8. And we had this comp, like, who could fit as much shit in their mouth at once? And I actually got a whole Big Mac, and I could put the entire thing in my mouth. And then it's like, once it's in there, everyone's like, eat it, eat it, eat it. And I'm like, okay. And then as I'm eating it, I just had to like this, and then slowly just go down. It takes about half an hour to get it all down at once. But everyone knew about it. It was just gold. My second story is in 2002. I dated Shaggy, Mr. Lover Lover, and in 2003, when he was back in Australia, I dated him again when he was here, and yeah, we're good mates. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, and then also last year, I met Powderfinger. Obviously, they're Brizzy boys, but yeah, I got to do podium dancing with a couple of other girls at one of their private parties in the city, and it was great. It was mad. So yeah. But anyway, that's the 3.
Definitely not number 2.
No, first one. But she's a name dropper, a celebrity. She knows everybody.
So I'm thinking
or either that or she says she does. So
I'm nearly certain she dated Shaggy.
Everyone who wants to put burger?
Me.
Number 1.
Okay, Shaggy?
she could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Shaggy.
And then the last one, Powderfinger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's up to you, Ash.
We've got the
Ash, which one?
I say Powderfinger.
Okay.
Right, that's right.
Number 3.
Incorrect. Okay, I've got to tell the story, don't I? Okay.
Did you date Shaggy?
I was at Rumba. I'm dancing away, and these 2 security guards came up to me and said, oh, look, can you please come over here? And I'm like, oh, God, what have I done wrong? And Shaggy was standing there, and I had no idea who he was, and I'm just talking to him, and my best friend Bree's going, that's Shaggy! And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he said, hey, do you want to hang out? And so we spent the time that he had in Australia, we spent it together. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. So anyway, yeah.
Well, what about that? Our Crystal with hip-hop reggae hunk Shaggy. I wonder what Shaggy would say if we asked him if it was true. It wasn't me. Coming up, we've got Keanu Reeves. Or do we? Welcome back. This time next week, we'll be opening the envelope and discovering the truth about just who is our first evictee. But what is the truth in the Big Brother house tonight? So far, Ryan hasn't really killed a shark, Wesley hasn't really had dinner with Cameron Diaz, and Kane really has been shot. Now it's time to see if Merlin can cast his spell over lies and turn them into truths.
My dad was actually in the circus when he was a young man, and when we moved to Australia, he sort of could never really let it go, the lifestyle, and our first pet, when I was 6 years old, was a lion, because he was a lion tamer in a circus. My second story is that 5 years ago,